Tonight in Lifeline, a medical mystery. Greg Nelson is a world-class kickboxer who'd already kicked 2 kinds of cancer. He thought he was home free, but soon after, he began to lose the feeling in his legs and suffered excruciating pain. The Mayo Clinic is trying to solve the mystery and save his life. Greg Nelson's a tough guy. Sure, he's gentle with his son Gunner in a game of Cali sticks, but fighting is all Greg has ever known. He was a champion kickboxer with a killer instinct, adept in the art of Thai, Filipino, and other martial arts. He won gold and silver in the Pan American Games and dozens of other awards. No matter how many injuries, bumps, and cuts he suffered, Greg never complained.
I can tell my daughter, you get what you get, you don't throw a fit, right?
The one time he might have forgiven himself for grumbling, when he lay dying of a painful, mysterious disease, but he was too drugged up on massive doses of morphine to react. Doctors were stumped.
And pretty soon, I went from walking to using a cane to just then not being able to walk at all. And I'd literally crawl around my house.
With no other place to turn, Greg went to the Mayo Clinic in hopes they would unravel the medical mystery that was killing him.
Here, this whole man's life is centered around making an appropriate diagnosis, which was really made on a biopsy. Tissue is the issue, as they say.
Dr. Robert Spinner is a neurosurgeon who first noticed a very subtle aberration on a pelvic MRI taken of Greg.
This is the left sciatic nerve, and here you can see that the nerve is a little bit brighter and a little bit larger than the right side.
It would take a biopsy to determine if the abnormality in the nerve was cancer. Spinner decided to operate. It was very risky.
But there was an operation that very few people would do, because if you take the wrong part of the nerve, it could mean paralysis.
The results of the biopsy were stunning. Greg was the victim of a rare form of lymphoma cancer of the nerve. There are only 2 or 3 dozen cases in all of medical literature, according to Mayo.
Lymphoma going into the nerves is very rare to happen.
The challenge to treat Greg's cancer was met by his hematologist, Dr. Irene Gobrio. Greg underwent a concoction of chemotherapy, followed by a first-of-its-kind stem cell transplant. No one knew what to expect. The transplant was a success.
He's walking around. He has a new life again. He's going back to his love of his life and his work, and he's taking care of his children. And it's sort of a miracle when you see him completely changed like this.
What really was made apparent, the fragility of life. My family and my kids are really number one. Yeah, every day is extremely important, and that to use that, to the best of your ability.
Stand by. Since Greg's successful biopsy and road to recovery, in a remarkable turn, doctors at the Mayo Clinic have discovered 5 more rare cases of cancer of the sciatic nerve. The doctors and Greg then have helped pioneer discovery and treatment of this disease.